So in this demo, I'm going to be looking at the NTAD6212 assignment. So in the assignment, we can see that we've got activity 1, 2, and up to activity 4. So there are 4 activities. Activity 1 is 20 marks. Activity 2 is 40 marks. Activity 3 is 20, and activity 4 is also 20. So in this demo, I'm going to look at activity 1 from the assignment, and then we'll do demos for activities 2 and 3 and 4. So in activity 1 now, what do they ask us to do? Documenting the solution. So we need to create a document of the solution for this assignment. Now they've given us the scenario on the top here that says that we are working for Home Affairs, okay, Department of Home Affairs, and you're the Enterprise Network Administrator. So you need to perform all of the following jobs, and then you need to create a centralized integrated network for Home Affairs, focusing on the following departments. So each of the branches, they've given us 3 branches, that's Pretoria, KZN, and Gauteng. And for each of these branches, we can see that they've got certain branch office details, departments, okay? So in each head office, you're going to have all of these different departments. So we can create organizational units in Active Directory for each of these different departments. So what is the question saying now? It says for activity 1, write technical documentation. So we've discussed the technical document previously. So in this activity, you're required to compile, plan, and design the document for the chosen solution. Installing new Windows servers on your computer is not something done casually, so you must plan the installation well in advance. In addition, you must consider the configuration of various types of hard disk technologies used for local storage and the deployment of roles to servers all over the network. Given the complete specifications for the network in the scenario, compile, plan, and design a document for the chosen solution. The document must include the following sections: the cover page, etc. So I'm going to go and create a document now. So I'm going to open up a Word document. This is my assignment now. Remember, when we create an assignment document, we always give it a name that we can remember. So File, Save As, and I'm going to save it into my cloud location. So I'm just going to go in to my location, my OneDrive account. We should all be using our OneDrive account. So let me go into this location. I'm just going to say more options, and then I'm going to go into where I need to store it. So I should have a folder that's been created for me for all my NTAD work, and there's it here, NTAD6212. So I'm going to go inside this folder and I'm going to save my assignment. So this is NTAD6212. It's my assignment. So I'm going to put in assignment. And my name is Subain. My student number is whatever my student number is. So I've got NTAD, assignment, Subain, student number, and I am DNM, second year DNM. All right, so that's all the details that I need. So I'll save it here. So in future, I know if I just look at the document name, I know exactly which module it is. It is mine. There's my student number, and the details are on the top. So first thing is I need a cover page. So I'll insert cover page. with my details, and it must be as simple as possible, nothing too fancy. Okay, with the most important information that's there. So I can just choose the simple one. This is NTAD 6212 assignment. NTAD 6212 assignment. So, and then I can put, it doesn't have those details, but I can put in my own details. My student number. You've also got a college assignment cover sheet that you can use or insert here as well. So any other details you can put in there, and then you can put in the date. I can just select today's date or whichever date. You can use these fields if you require or not, okay? But don't just leave it like company name. If you're not using it, delete it, okay? So click on it and delete it. So whatever relevant information I need to put in to identify, I'll put on the cover page. Next thing, I'm going to put in a contents. So I'm just going to insert a blank page, and I'm going to go to the next page, and then I'm going to go and copy out my assignment. So I'm NTAD assignment. So they said cover page, table of contents, purpose of the document. So I'm going to copy these things here. And so that I ensure that I've got everything that's required. Until recommendations. Okay. So I know that this assignment is going to have activity 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to write here, this is activity 1. And then inside of activity 1, so I can go to the home, and I'm going to choose this one, activity 1, as being do I want to make it heading 1? Yeah, I can make it heading 1. And then purpose of the document, I'm going to make as heading 2. All right. So I'm going to continue that. Let me just see what are the sections that is going to give me marks in the assignment. So I go back and I look here. Right. So they're going to give me marks for cover page and table of contents. No, there's no marks there. Purpose of the document. Overview of the solution. Assumptions made. How the solution is meeting the business goals. So I'm going to ensure I've got all of these sections in my document. So I go here, overview of the solution. Right? So this one I know is going to be purpose of the document. So I'm going to go and highlight now all my heading 2s. Right? Assumptions made. Then I'm going to continue. What was the next one? Business goals. How the solution is meeting the business goals. Okay. There's the bulleted points that I have here. So those ones are all going to be highlighted as heading 2. Or I can just quickly just format, copy this, double click on that, and then I can go and format each of these. I can go and change the formatting later on, but now I'm just highlighting the different sections. Okay, so I've got activity 1, and then it starts with the purpose of the document, etc. So now I'm also going to put in activity 2 and 3 and 4. So I'll put in activity 2, activity 3, and activity 4. I'm going to highlight all of them, and then these are all going to be heading 1. So if I go back here now, this blank page that I left, I can put in the table of contents. So I can go to, is it references? Where do I find table of content? Yes, under references, table of contents, and then there's automatic table of contents here. So this one says table of contents, so I'm going to insert table of contents, and as you can see, there's the table of contents that has been inserted, but not everything is appearing. So I need to go and format these ones here correctly. Let's see if I go and update the table. Just right click, update the entire table. It's still not updating. That means I haven't selected it correctly. So I'm going to go back now. That one is correct. This one I'll highlight, and then I need to go back to home and then make it heading 2. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing now for each of them, heading 2, highlighting, and then selecting heading 2. And then I'm going to update my table of contents. So once I've done that, I just right click on the table. I say update field, entire table, and there you go. There's all of the activities in the table of contents. So I know I've done my cover sheet, and then I've done my table of contents. Now getting into the questions. Provide the reasons for the need for this document. Include the purpose as well as the intended use of the document. Half a page is recommended. So in this section, what am I going to say here? The purpose of this document is to provide a plan and design of a network for home affairs organization, right? So you'll start typing. The purpose of this document is to provide a plan and design of the network for is it the home affairs organization? Okay, and then I will continue writing additional information about what's going to be included in this document. Okay, so this document will include an overview of the solution, how the solution is meeting the business goals. It's like an introduction and purpose. Okay, so that's what's going to be included in this section here. Then in overview of the solution, what do they say here? Consider the scenario and brainstorm the solution, and then provide a summary of an integrated solution appropriate for the department. 1 page is recommended. So consider the scenario and brainstorm the solution. I need to go back here now to the scenario. So the scenario is going to tell me here additional requirements scenario. So there's the scenario. I'm going to just highlight this. No, I want from here. View page display scrolling. Okay. So I want this. Okay. So this section here now is going to tell me overview of this scenario. So there's a scenario. Consider the scenario and brainstorm the solution. Then provide a summary of an integrated solution appropriate for the department. So I'm going to talk about here what is required for this network. For this network, we require a centralized server located in the Pretoria office. The biggest project is to configure a centralized integrated network for Home Affairs, only focusing on the following departments. Okay, so we need to create an Active Directory network for Home Affairs Department or the Home Affairs organization. And inside this organization, we're going to have various departments. The departments are then further going to the Home Affairs is also going to comprise of 3 branch offices, etc. So you will go through the scenario, then you will brainstorm a solution. So in the solution, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to install 3 servers at each of the different branch offices. And on each of the servers, I'm going to have one Active Directory, or I'm going to have a copy of the Active Directory. And then in Active Directory, I'm going to create sites for Pretoria, KZN, Gauteng. And in those sites, I need to have organizational units for each of the different departments. There are 5 different departments, and then you will go on discussing the solution. Can you see? So that's brainstorming the solution. And then provide a summary of the integrated solution appropriate for the department. The integrated solution is one domain called homeaffairs.gov.za. This domain has 3 different sites, and I've just named the 3 different sites. And then you continue. That's the integrated solution that summarizes exactly what is required. Then list and briefly describe the assumptions made. 1 page is recommended. We are not given any information about how many users are in each of these different departments. We are not given information about what type of servers to install. We are not given a number of different pieces of information is missing from what is given to us here. So we will need to make assumptions based on the scenario that is given. So for example, if I look at this here, it says your responsibilities will be to do all of these things: server administration, server client configuration, storage, software, system maintenance, documentation, troubleshooting, and support services. Okay. Then they say there's some additional requirements. What do we need to do? Create a comprehensive OU strategy, right? A Windows Server client is adopted and implemented all across all sites on the server platform. Efficiency in seamless, highly available, usable domain network resources is one of the requirements. The department embraces a cost-effective design, etc. Okay, so these now are some of the business goals. Okay, so assumptions is going to be related to information that is not given in the scenario. So here, what information is not given in the scenario? And how are you going to accommodate these requirements? So this would include servers, software, users, computers, etc. So you will then go and say, what is not mentioned in the scenario and what assumptions have I made? How the solution is meeting the business goals. In this section, you go back to this additional requirements here, right? With the assumption that the appropriate network architecture and hardware architecture requirements have been adequately sought and implemented, the following will be the next steps, right? So there's part of the assumptions here as well. So you can include your network and hardware architecture. In other words, how is the network going to be connected to the internet? What kind of servers are you going to have? How many desktops are you going to have? How many client computers are you going to have? All of that is going to be mentioned here. Then it says, business requirements, server domain is created for each of the sites. Adequate domain controller strategy is planned. Site links are planned and implemented. So these are all part of the business requirements, right? Business goals. So I'm going to copy all of this. And then I'm going to say, how do I plan to implement all of this? Plan and design of the server environment. I missed this one. Let's put that as a heading 2. Right. So in this part here now, what are you going to write about the server environment? How many domain controllers? So Active Directory, DC, right? So how many domain controllers? How many domain controllers? DNS server, DHCP server, file server, proxy server, exchange server. That's for email, right? What servers? So Active Directory DC, are you going to have read-only domain controllers, RODC? Okay. How many DNS servers are you going to have? Where are they going to be placed? DHCP, your file, storage, file servers, storage. Okay. Proxy server, internet. Exchange server, this one is email. Can you see? So all of the server requirements are going to be here. Give a detailed explanation of your server environment is planned and designed to meet the specific scenario. Then Plan and design of local storage. So in terms of local storage, I need to say what they say. How is local storage planned and designed to meet the scenario specifications of the network and the business goals? A maximum of 1.5 pages is recommended here. Now, design of local storage means how many servers am I going to have that's going to be storing the information required on the network. So Home Affairs needs to store documents, okay? Where are the documents going to be stored? On which servers? How many of these servers are you going to have? Now, what's going to give us more clues here is going to be going to look at our servers. If we go and look at the servers, what can we do on the server? So I'll go now and look at my slides. So I should have slides here. And in the slides, I'm looking for storage. So in my text, is there something that speaks about storage? Or I can go, let me go to RC Learn. So in RC Learn, under my content, learning units, is there something that speaks about storage? The first learning unit is speaking about Introduction to Active Directory and Directory Services. The next one is on Active Directory object configuration. The next one is on group policies. The next one is domain administration. And the last one is on certificates and identity. So this one requires some independent research. Okay, so I will go and I'll search. What am I searching for? I'm searching for server 2016 storage. Okay, if I go and search, there's documents. There's Windows Storage Server 2016. There's some videos, how to configure storage spaces on server. So here they are speaking about storage spaces. So I can go and look at this information, and based on the information that I find here, I can then make recommendations on how I'm going to set up storage spaces on server. Okay, so I need to do some independent research for that section. So do your own research on storage spaces. Storage spaces in Windows Server 2016. So that's what I'm going to do in this section. File and share access. Provide detailed information of file and share access. Did they speak anything about file and share access? Going back now to my file and share access. No, I don't see anything here. Okay. So here again, do some independent research. So here, do your own research. On file and share access. So that's what you're going to do here. Next one, plan as well as design of print and document services. I also did not see anything on print and document services. So here again, so this is going to be print and document services. Right. Then plan and design of remote management for servers. Here as well, you're going to do independent research. This one is for remote management. Remote management is like what we are currently doing by connecting to our labs. That's remote management. So when we have remote desktop session, remote management, we can remote into the server and then manage the server. So you'll also link this to the case study. For example, I don't need to have IT staff at a certain branch office. I can remote into that server. And then next, recommendations. Provide details of the necessary procedures to install and configure roles and features that might be needed in future, example, virtualization, upgrade, and migration. Okay, so here they say what future requirements might they be. Okay, so you can include virtualization like Hyper-V, upgrading, and then migration, moving from one to another. So that's an explanation now of the first activity, which is on creating your document. We've explained the purpose, overview of the solution, assumptions, how the solution is meeting business requirements, design of server environment, and then local storage, file, print, and document services, as well as remote management requires independent research. Okay, so we're going to stop the video here for explanation of activity 1, and then we can move on to activity 2 in the next demo.